How are we doing, guys? Welcome back to All These Two in the final edition of our player rated series. We're going to go through the forwards today. We're talking wingers and striker is what we're doing today. 5 players we're going through today. But before we start, guys, make sure you check out our fantastic new fantasy football game. We're teamed up with Scarito. Basically, it's a combination of fantasy football and predictions all rolled into one. Check them out. Link in the description down below. Check them out, guys. So basically, you predict the 4 goal scorers from each round of the Euros, predicts each score from each round of the Euros, and the winner of the whole thing in the European Championships. One term, though, you've got to have joined by the 11th of June. You've got to have joined by this time next week, guys. So make sure you check it out. And free to join. It will be $2.99 otherwise to join. But with All These TV's League, it is totally free to join. Get involved, guys, and check that link out down below. You won't regret it. Just an opportunity to beat Phil. It's an opportunity to finish with both Phil. That is the only motivation you should have in this competition. So, guys, make sure you smash that like button as well. Let's get as many people involved in this as possible because this is exciting. We're talking about the forwards tonight. Exciting, the difference makers. But we're going to start from the bottom first. So, Jack got 6 out of 7 yesterday. Unreal effort from Jack. I'm going to go to you first, mate. I know, check that out.
Nice there. Look at this. This is my favourite one. This just epitomises me, this Yorkshire Republican Army. My favourite, straight away. We all got one, but this is the one. This is me. So if you want any more of these, go on the website. Go and look at all the gear. Oscar, you can describe it a lot better than me, you know. But yeah, this is my favourite one, this one.
Check it out. All These to Be. It's All These to Be stock, that. I'll have you know. All These to Be stock. But who do you reckon's the bottom of the 5 then, Jack?
I've been drawn out first then.
Well, you've got 6 out of 7, mate. Can you make it 7 out of 8?
All right. Well, I'm going to go Paveda.
Okay.
For me, Paveda's going to be bottom on this one, I think. Yeah.
Okay. And Lucy?
Yeah, I go Paveda as well, yeah.
Okay. Chris?
Yeah, Paveda as well.
Okay.
Oh.
Are you going to shock us? Oh!
That's probably my fault.
The amount of times we've had Owen Costa this season. It is Helder Costa with 5.7 on average, by far the lowest, actually, of all the people that have done on this show. 23 games this season, 14 starts, 3 goals, 3 assists over the season. I mean, it started so well for him. It was 2 goals and 1 assist in the first 2 games. He got the double against Fulham, 2 cracking finishes, decent game at Anfield early in the season. And then, it didn't really get much better than that, to be fair. It really didn't. Then a certain player called Rafinha turned up and basically took his job. No, basically, the be-all and end-all is Rafinha took Helder Costa's job.
He's going to get a mention later, isn't he? I'm sure he is somewhere along the lines.
He might get a mention in this. He is getting a mention. He is definitely getting a mention. Won't say where, though. Won't say where he's finished. Lucy, your thoughts on Helder Costa?
Yeah, like you say, at the start of the season, he was having a cracker, weren't he? He got himself a couple of goals, a couple of assists, and then as soon as Rafinha come in, he sort of got lost a bit. Come back in, obviously, back end of the season. Did an all right job. Had a few poor games, to be honest, but Costa, I think I prefer coming on as a substitute as long as he makes an impact, because obviously that's what subs are there for. But like you say, good start to the season. It'd be interesting to see what happens to him next season, whether he's, I know a lot of people are probably wanting him gone, I think. So, all right, I think. Yeah, some poor performances, but then some solid ones as well, really.
I mean, what's your take, Chris? Would you want to see Costa here next season, or is he one to get rid in the summer? He's 26 now. I mean, is he kind of getting past that age now where he's going to get much better than what he's currently showing?
Well, we're not going to get anywhere near the money we paid for him if we sell him. That's the first point. And is he bad enough to get rid of when we've already lost Hernandez out of the midfield at sort of attacking players at the end of this season. For me, keep him. He definitely doesn't start games, but I think he's decent enough to still have around the squad, at least for one more season, because we can't go mad and be clearing house and, getting another 15 players in or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So he's good enough. He's good enough for the squad. I know I've been the one who's absolutely destroyed him at times this season. And listen, he's nowhere near the levels of Rafa or Jack Harrison, but as a squad player, keep him for me. I don't think he's that bad.
It kind of sums up Costa's season that the most positive you've spoken about in Chris is when he's not actually playing. It's like the season's been done for 2 weeks. And that's, but you look at it, 3 goals, 3 assists. It's not terrible considering he's not played that many minutes. But Jack, I mean, you to be fair, start of the season, you a bit of a Costa fan at the start of the season, I seem to remember. But I mean, what's your thoughts been on him? A disappointing one?
And what's the word? Frustrating. That's what I'm going to describe Costa as. When we signed Costa, and obviously we had Barry Douglas at the time, I remember back when Wolves romped the Championship.
Yeah.
That left-hand side that them to add, it was unreal. They were best left side in the Championship, and I thought, are we trying to replicate that? And obviously, onwards with Barry Douglas. Costa, again, there's a kid beside me in South Stand who absolutely hammers him. Every game, he could have scored a worldie and he'll still hammer him. And I get so annoyed about it. But I think Costa has just been frustrating. I think there is a player there. I can see there is a player there, but for some reason it's just not happening. And I think out of every player this year, he's been the one that's been the most disappointing for me. He has out of every single player.
That's the thing. I think frustration is the right word for it. I don't think he's a bad footballer. I don't think anyone can say he's not good at football. I mean, you clearly seen it. I mean, the 2 goals against Fulham, like the finishes, like poor players don't finish those kind of chances.
No,
there's clearly a player in there, There's clearly I mean, up at City, I thought he had a decent game in that away game. He came in for Jack Harrison. He did okay. He's showing it. That's more the frustration for me. It's the application sometimes for me. I think sometimes he can be a little bit weak. When he's up against a big physical fullback, I think sometimes he can be found a little bit wanting. But I don't know. I just think I look at Costa and think it's a hard one to explain. Sometimes I think sometimes his body language as well. It's not quite what Rafinha's is. Like Rafinha, you feel like he's a fighter. Harrison, the fighters in that kind of sense. Costa, maybe it's just the way we look at it. But I think there's more. I still think there's more to come from Costa. I still think there's a player in there. The only question would be is that Costa being 26, 27 now, could we look at someone else? Could we give more, Ian Pervader more minutes? Could we give different people more minutes with maybe potentially more potential? But I don't know. I think he's got to have a big pre-season for starters. He's got to show that hunger in pre-season. He's got to show some decent performances there. But, I mean, numbers-wise, to be honest, I'm actually going to go 5 out of 10 on the basis that I expected a lot more from him because I think he finished last season pretty well. But yeah, he's just not delivered for me this season in terms of what I'd expect from him. I mean, Lucy, what kind of number were you thinking?
Yeah, I was torn between 5 and 6, but I didn't know whether 5 was too harsh. But I think you're right. Like you said earlier, I think he is weak compared to the likes of Rafinha and Jack. So yeah, I'd be happy to give him a 5, to be honest.
Okay. Chris?
Yeah, I agree with the 5 as well, to be fair. I think actually the rating's probably, because you said he's the lowest of anyone that we've rated out of the squad.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah, it's probably, like I say, it's probably...
Me and Joe have hammered Costa at times. I think
it's fair. I think it's fair, mate. Like, I know we get on Gianni's back at times, but he's had really good games at times as Gianni. He's been a bit hit and miss, where I think Costa, apart from the start of the season, the first 2 games, he just went missing. And what I didn't like the most is when Rafa came in, it looked like Costa gave up.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm not going to fight for the place. He just looked dejected, like, I can't compete with that. His 5 for me, mate, I think.
It was a little bit like Click after when Bielsa said he could play for any midfield. And as I said to Jack yesterday, he could play for any midfield in the world. And his form just went like that. But Costa, it was after 4 games. His form went like that after Rafinha turned up. I mean, I'm not being funny. When you see Rafinha walk through the door, what he can do in training, you're thinking, he's a right winger. I'm a right winger. I'm in a bit of bother here. This lad's taking my place. And I mean, it's that, isn't it? I mean, you know, it can't have been a nice feeling from Costa's personal kind of standpoint. But I don't know, Jack, what would you think numbers wise, mate? Would you be agreeing with a 5 or would you go a bit higher?
Right, no, I'm proud of every single one of them players, no matter how shit they've been. So I can't give them a 5. It's a 6. I've never given a 5 to any one of them players this year, so it's a 6.
Okay.
It's a 6 for me, yeah.
Well, we've got, was it 3? Lucy was 5, Chris 5. We'll have to go 5 though. We're overall, we've got mostly 5s. We've got mostly 5s. I'm not doing
5.25.
No. Phil's not here. Never doing that.
We've lost
Never. Right, next player then. 4 to go.
Paveda, has to be. It's got to be.
Yeah, all day long.
Has to be.
It is Ian Paveda. 6.07 is not that much better than Costa. 16 appearances, only 2 starts, so no goals, no assists for Ian Paveda this season. I've got to say, there's been certain games where I think he's looked, ready for this level. City at home, he just gave Mendy absolute nightmares in that second half in that game. The other week against Liverpool, I think it was, he came on, looked really sharp. I think he's showing little flashes for me, Paveda. I think the thing that works, I don't think Paveda's been that much better than Costa in any sense of the imagination. I think they've both been very similar in terms of this season. When they come on, they've maybe not made the impact they should have done. But what I say about Paveda is he's about 8 years younger. So you've got to give him that. And the fact is, like, it's only his second season in senior football. So I will give him a little bit more leeway than what would cost him, rightly or wrongly. But again, I think there's more to come. But I think he's going to find appearances even more difficult to come by next season, especially if we bring in another winger or another forward. I think it gets even more difficult for Paveda. What's your take been on Paveda, Lucy?
I've been really impressed with him when he's come on. I know he's not really like we'd expect him to make more of an impact, but like you say, he's only young. There's definitely a player in there. He sort of reminds me a bit of Jack, like the way that he plays around the opposition, but it's just that sort of final ball into the box for an assist or a goal. I think is been his weak point. But I'd like to see a lot more of him next season. But like you say, I think with the players we might be bringing in, I think he's going to find it difficult to get any more game time than what he has this season. But there's definitely a player in there, and he's young. But it's going to be a struggle to see him in the side next season.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's only started 2 games this season, both of those in the cup. He's started the league game for Leeds United as of yet. But big thanks to the legend that is Michael 20, the Mikey Whites, lovely donation there. Chris, your thoughts on Paveda?
He's got the pace and he's got a trick in him. What concerns me is he's not going to be another Hadi Sacco, who just has got no final ball. But he's young. He's under the best manager in the world to develop as a player. If Bielsa keeps him around for next season and doesn't send him out on loan, which we know Bielsa doesn't really like doing, then he's only going to improve under this manager. So I'm giving him for the same reason as you, Oscar, I'm giving him a 6, just because he's younger and he just needs a bit more time. There you go. Bang on cue. But it's a big one for him next season. When he does get minutes on the pitch, he's got to produce something. Otherwise, I can see him it probably being his last season at Leeds and maybe moving on. There's
definitely that. I think obviously there's a bit more pressure on him next season to show he can play in this team. Really, I think there's definitely that. I think we lost Jack.
He's buffering.
Jack's there. Jack's buffering. I mean, Lucy, have you any thoughts on numbers for Paveda?
I think I'd go 6. I think he's made when he has come on, he's made impact in games, and I'd score him higher than Costa. So I'd go 6. I think
Okay. Not sure where Jack is. So we've got 6s in there. I mean, there's not really much more to talk about on Paveda, is there really? He's played so few minutes. I think the fewest minutes of anyone we've rated on this. Maybe not quite, but again, he's not played a lot of minutes at all this season. Okay. So we're saying 6 on Paveda.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's next?
Jack.
Yeah, Jack. I don't know. It's hard, this one.
Okay. I don't know what's happened with actual Jack here.
No.
Can you hear us? Can you hear me now? He'll be back. Well, I can tell you. Jack Harrison.
Oh, 6.5.
Low. It's low, isn't it? It's very, very low, that. Again, I feel a bit embarrassed. I feel embarrassed that I've allowed Jack Harrison to have that low in average rating.
Yeah.
I feel it's outrageous, isn't it? It's outrageous in terms of, dearie me. You can see why Joe left now. When he's seen how low people rated Jack Harrison. You know what I mean? But look, come on. Jack Harrison has been a lot better than 6.54 over the season.
I'm not even talking marking him up 1 here. I'm thinking he's going as an 8 for me. Straight
it is unbelievable how far off the other 2 he is. But 37 games, 34 starts, 8 goals, 8 assists. I mean, look, I think the thing with Jack Harrison is, I don't think there's a big difference between. Here he is. He's back.
The technician did it all wrong. She didn't put computer in, did she? So it's her fault. The technician, the gaffer, useless. Absolutely useless. 6 for Pervada, by the way. It's a 6 for Pervada from me.
6.
Where are we now?
We're on to Jack Harrison, mate. Jack Harrison. He's averaged 6.54. Ridiculously low, man. But I think Raphinha, Bamford, Harrison, all their numbers are about the same. Roughly the same. They're all delivering the similar kind of numbers every single season. But I think Jack, out the 3, by far gets the least love. I think most of the headlines, Raphinha, Bamford, or even Meslier, it's like Harrison's almost being ignored at times this season. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's not as pleasing to watch as a Raphinha. He's not as graceful on the pitch, but I still think he's as effective for me. I still think he's by far as effective as a Raphinha or Bamford. I'm saying 8 out of 10, to be honest, on Harrison. I think he's been genuinely superb at times this season. In terms of getting goals, 8 goals, 8 assists. It's absolutely nothing to be laughed at. In terms of your first season at this level. I mean, what's your feeling being on there, Jack Harrison, Lucy?
Yeah, I was going to score him a 7, but then when you look at obviously the stats and the goals and the assists that he's produced for us, we'd be lost without him, wouldn't we? Really? So I'd bump him up to an 8. Like you say, he doesn't seem to get a lot of love compared to the likes of Raphinha and Bamford, and when he does have a bad game, he just gets pelted all over social media, and he's sort of one of them confidence players as well. I think if he has a good game, he's sort of on his high horse, but then when he does have a bad game, it's not great. But it's just that first touch. His first touch is just outstanding, and hopefully he's signed that contract and is here for the future.
Yeah, I've seen that is definitely done. As of the 1st of July, he will be a permanent Leeds player. So £10 million theft.
Not according to our average rating.
Well, no.
We kept the fee down, mate. That's the price. That's what we should take. We should take a bit of credit here. We kept the fee down. We kept it low key. I mean, CK, your feelings on JH this season?
I'm a massive fan of his, mate. I think Phil
got the same fitness program and everything.
That's how we roll, me and Jack. But I'm going to quote Phil here. He's our most effective presser, without a shadow of a doubt. The lad never stopped. I know none of them stopped running, but he never stopped running. He's an absolute machine of a thing. 8 goals, 8 assists. You can't argue with that from your left winger. He did have a dip in the middle of the season. I think we were all questioning I think it was his mentality more than anything. He looked like his confidence had crashed. And he opened up, didn't he? He said he went away and he spoke to his counsellor again, or sports psychologist, whatever it is, and he was firing again. £10 million, mate. You're not getting nowhere near that quality of winger anywhere else for £10 million. And I think he's unlucky this season, back end of the season, for Southgate not to at least have a look at him with those figures and look at the players. I know we don't tend to play an out-and-out wide man for England, but as a different option, if you want to stretch the game, stretch the pitch, for me, potentially, mind you, I hate Gareth Southgate. He's an absolute knobhead, so any chance to have a go at him is perfect. But
do you dislike him more than Harry Maguire?
Yeah, because he picks Harry Maguire. So yes.
Oh, dear me. Jack, your feelings on Jack?
My feelings on the namesake, as Lucy said, and I think I've just seen someone just put something in the comments and it describes him perfectly. His first touch is like throwing a teddy at a pillow. It just lands and falls. And I've said it that many times. You could aim that ball at him at 100 mile an hour at a weird 64-degree angle and he will still control it. You never see him not control that ball. It's absolutely, it's just a, that's not trained at, that's just natural, right? I don't think the kid gets a lot of, he does seem to be another one that's a scapegoat for the Leeds fans if things are not going well. But this year, for me, he started off great, and I think he had a bit of a lull mid-season. He just seems to be a bit hit and miss, and I think towards back in the year, he showed again how good he is. But I think, the rumours are there coincided, I think, with obviously with COVID and all like that. I think his girlfriend's South American or something like that, and she's stuck away over there, and he's not been able to see her. So he's probably been missing her as well, and mentally that's probably affected him. But as regards to a player for the future, absolutely, all day long. He should be, I think when this tournament's over, I do think he will be in England's plans, because you can't tell me that we've got better players than Jack Harrison at the minute. I don't think we have for England. I think that kid will be playing for England next year. I don't think so. Another season under Bielsa, he'll get better and better. His fitness levels are just extreme. He's tracking everything. He's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable player. I'm massively impressed with him. And I hope that it is happening, isn't it? We are signing him out.
It's happening, mate,
great.
I remember one bad touch, and it was in the Brighton watch along, Oscar. Me and you were sat there going, his first touch is unbelievable. His first touch is unbelievable. And he took this first touch, it just bounced off, and we were like that.
It was like five minutes in, wasn't it? If thinking, we're done in this game.
We're not. If Jack's touch is letting us down,
we're done.
Let's go home now because we're not winning this.
I wish we did, on that game. Dear me, that was a tough watch. That, but I mean, what was it? Phil was saying he's got a touch like a cloud or something.
I don't understand the cloud thing. It
goes straight through. That's typical Phil, that isn't it? I'm saying 8. I'm sticking with my 8. I'm sticking with solid. I'm sticking with 8.
I'm gonna go 8 as well. 8 for Jack. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So 8 out of 10. I'm not sure why it's so low. We will sort that out next season. We'll be fairer to Jack Harrison. Okay, 2 players to go. Who's next?
This is going to be hard. This one.
Yeah.
I think Bamford, because he's played more games.
I think Bamford as well. I don't think Bamford.
Okay, so swapping the camera here. Sorry, mate. The camera froze there. I don't know why it did that. Who do you reckon is next?
I'm saying Bamford.
Raf.
Lucy's gone Raf.
Rafa, Lucy, yeah?
Yeah.
If she gets this right, she's got insider knowledge, I'm telling you.
I don't know where from.
It is Patrick. It is Lord Bamford who is next. Average 7 over the season, exact same as Stuart Dallas, actually. Exact same over the season, which is mad. 38 games, 37 starts, 17 goals, 7 assists. His best return for Leeds United, and what a season it's been. I think you've seen a lot of different sides to Bamford this season. The 7 assists, he started to become a bit more of a playmaker, as well as getting himself obviously more goals this season. Massive improvement in terms of his end product. Again, the pressing's still been as good as ever. He's still been as involved in games as ever. And I think he's actually, over the season, he's been more clinical this season. I think last season, and let's be honest, wow, he did miss some absolute sitters. Pretty much every game he was missing sitters. But now I think he's finishing sharper. I think he suits his level better than the championship, to be honest. And yeah, it's been I think the fact of the matter is, he's kept out, I'm going to say the line again, Chris, he's kept out Spain's number 9 throughout the whole season. When Mourinho came in, we were thinking the same as what we thought about Helder Costa when Rafinha came in. He's in trouble now. The exact opposite to what Helder Costa has been able to do. Bamford's took that as motivation. I think that's helped Bamford almost, that extra competition. Last season, Eddie Nketiah, good player. I did like Eddie, but he was never ever going to start over Bamford because he couldn't press. Kevin Augustin just couldn't run, just for starters. I mean, dear me. I mean, look, he's got competition now, and he's kept out that competition throughout the season. 17 goals as well. Only 2 of those are penalties, so 15 goals in open play. Nothing to be sniffed at all. What a season. I'm going to say one more than Jack. I'm going to go 9 here. I'm genuinely going 9. The only way it could be in 10 is if he gets himself into that magic 20 for me. If he did get himself that magic 20, 25 goals. But you know what? If he improves like he did this season upon last season, he could push on. We could genuinely push on. If you've got to get more creativity into this team, in terms of a number 10, who knows? I mean, Lucy, what's your take been on Bamford this season?
I feel like a proud mum with Bamford because I've always been like a massive fan of him from like the Championship, and I think he's just shone this season, and I'm just so happy for him. And like you say, with the 20 odd goals, he could have had 20 goals if it weren't for VAR. He could have been up there, and I think that might have. Well, I don't know. It might have given him a shout in the England squad, but we'll not talk about that. But I'm just so pleased for him because we've always known it's been in there, and like going into the season, I'm thinking, is he going to struggle? But he's just took it in his stride, and like you say, he's kept Rodrigo out of that number 9 spot, and I think next season he pushes on even more. I can genuinely see it. Yeah, definitely.
Chingy keeps Rodrigo out again next season in that number 9 spot.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he does start next season. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Chris.
I'm giving him a 9 as well. He was unlucky not to have 20 goals this season with some ridiculous VAR decisions.
Yeah, that's true.
I will mention an England thing. I think it's an absolute travesty that he's not in that squad. I think it's a disgusting decision. Not just in the 33 that was. I think he should be going to the Euros. Second highest English goal scorer behind Harry Kane. Out of all the strikers, we've got probably the closest one to Harry Kane. So if Kane gets injured, England don't have to change the whole style by bringing on a Calvert-Lewin who's just a at the ball player. Let's be honest, he's nothing. He's done very little more than that. So for me, I think he's genuinely the most unlucky player that hasn't gone to the Euros for England. Not just Leeds wise. I think from the Premier League, I think he's been absolutely class this season, and I was concerned that he wouldn't get the chances and he won't be clinical. He's been mega this season. He really has. I have picked Rodrigo to be top scorer next season. But I think Bam Bam will start the season still at number 9, but he's going to get pushed hard next season, I think, by Rodrigo. 2 informed quality strikers, you take it all day long.
Exactly. I mean, Rodrigo starts for every other team for me outside the top 7. I genuinely would go that far. Just it shows how good Bamford's been. I mean, for you, Jack, where would you say Bamford's ranks in terms of the best strikers in the Premier League at this moment in time?
Well, obviously, he's classed as probably 5th best striker in Premier League because that's where he ended up. But for me, I think the big thing here is if COVID would ever a blessing in disguise for one player, it was for Patrick Bamford.
Yeah.
To have no fans there and for him now to actually find his mojo and to just go in the Premier League. Because I could imagine Leeds fans there, and if things weren't going so great and some of the hammerings we had and things like that, he probably could have been the scapegoat again. And the pressure would have got to him. And I think that this whole break with no fans there has done him the actual world of good. And he's just shown that he can score goals. There's no problem with it now. And the thing is now, I think Leeds fans love him. So when we do go back, then I think that Leeds fans will be really absolutely behind him completely. And I do think that this he's the one player that's going to benefit from this break of no fans. But as regards to a rating for Bamford, 17 goals, what were it, 8 assists? First year in the Premier League, it's got to be a 9. Can't be any less. It has to be a 9 out of 10, without a doubt.
Don't know what Oscar's doing. I don't know what he's doing. Sounds like he's having a fight with his rabbit.
I was having a fight with a charger. I didn't realise I wasn't charging the laptop as I was speaking. I was thinking, why is it gone down to 10%? I was thinking, oh yeah, because I did turn the charger on. There we go. That would have been good, wouldn't it?
A definite 9, Oscar.
9. Yeah, we're agreeing on 9 here. It's just been that. Jack's been superb, Jack Harrison, but Bamford's just been that next level, hasn't he, this season for me? He's won the fan base over without the fan base even being in the ground. That's the most impressive thing, isn't it? Really, as you were saying there, Jack. It's so good to see. Right.
He's done a lot off the pitch as well, hasn't he? Like the last couple of days, it just shows what such a great guy he is on and off the pitch. Yeah, it's great to see.
Also, what you're saying there, Lucido, he's been doing the interviews after the game, and he has just come across actually funny and really just like comical. When he talks, and he'll play himself down, and he'll just like have a laugh. And I think he's just coming across such a relaxed guy, and I think that this is what he's needed to have this season. No pressure on him, because I think some players can crumble under the weight. And I mean, a 36,000 packed Ellen Road, when things aren't going well, is not the greatest place that you ever actually want to be if you're not doing right well yourself, is it? So I don't think that this now, his confidence will be through the roof. He's had a great season. Unfortunate not to have even been picked in the 53 for England, never mind the 26. And I think he'll just look and think, to me, I think he'll be like, I'm going to prove I'm going to be bigger and better and everything next year. I'm going to be stronger. I'm just going to prove that I deserve to be in that England side. And I think that's how he's going to be. I think he's got that mental strength inside him. So
he's found that, hasn't he? I think this season especially, he's just found that. There's big times this season where his form's dropped a little bit and you thought, ooh, is that where... I think he went a couple of games and he went about 4 or 5 games out scoring, and then he just gets the goal and he's back on it again. He's back on the run.
Absolutely.
Even this season, back end of this season finishes the season well, but that does leave us with one more player. Any guesses?
Who could that be? Who could that be? Who could that be?
I'm trying not to get too excited.
I'm not trying to get excited.
It is, of course, Rafinha.
10.
7.27 over the season, 31 appearances, 26 starts, 6 goals, 9 assists for our Brazilian magician. Look, I mean, wow. I mean, what a signing this has been. £1 million more than Costa Rica cost, but what a diff. I mean, that's it. I just want to see this. I want to see this guy live. I just want to see this guy at Ellen Road now.
We all do.
I just want to see. Just give us one season, Raf. Give us one season. One more season. That's because look. At the end of the day, there's no ceiling on this guy's talent. He could genuinely play in the future for any club in the world. He's that good, kind of thing. I'm talking literally like that good, kind of thing. Your Barcelona's, your Real Madrid's. But we've got to show we've got that ambition now as a football club to keep Raf now with me in the summer. And I think he stays. I do still think he stays. And 60-40, we managed to keep hold of him. It's not going to be easy. He might, from time to time, have his head turned. Liverpool being linked. But I still think we keep him. I just want to see him have at least 1, maybe 2 seasons at a fully packed Ellen Road. And just because I think he can go up another level, to be honest. I think 6 goals for a player of his talent. I think he should be out looking for a lot more than that. I think he should be getting double that, to be honest, for a player of his talent. I think that I really do think that the standards are there for him. But what a season. There's been some 10 out of 10 performances, 9 out of 10s. I mean, I'll just say something that stood out. Crystal Palace at home, where Gary Cale's just been retired. Newcastle away, where he scores and gets himself another goal. West Brom away, I think that is. West Brom away. Everton away, when he gets that first goal for Leeds United. Again, we're talking 9 out of 10 performances here. It's just been unreal. Best sign we've made in a long, long time at this football club. 9 out of 10 for Raf for me. Lucy?
Yeah, definitely. I'd go 9 out of 10. I think. Yeah, I just didn't think we'd sign someone like that. Like, we signed him at first, I'm thinking, anybody else this kid that we brought in? But he's just been outstanding, and just his work rate, and there's some of the the tricks and the skills that he pulls off, like you say, ending Cahill's career basically, I think has just been outstanding, and it just shows how much he loves the club. Like, I was watching the player awards at the end of the season, and the way that he settled in with the rest of the squad is just great to see. And you saw how much he loved playing in front of, like, not even half an Ellen Road at the end of the season, and he just thrived off it. And once we're all back in there, it's just going to thrive even more. And like you say, I can't wait to see him in person, and I think he's just been outstanding all season. He's been great, yeah, definitely.
He's got the bants, hasn't he? He's got the bants. You can just tell that. He's such a lovable player, though. It's not just a skill. It's like a bit of fire in his belly as well. He can get nasty when he needs to, which I like about Rafinha. He seems like a proper Leeds player for me, Rafinha. You wouldn't expect that from a Brazilian. Yeah, when he first came to the club, what he got in your head, what I had in my head, what I was kind of expecting, it's kind of been even better. You see, I don't know, it's just something about him that you just think, he's the man. You know, when we're struggling in the game, you're thinking, he's the man who's going to drag us out of it. He's the man who's going to get us the crucial goal or the crucial assist. He's just unreal, isn't he, Chris? I mean, have you still got that poster of him in your gym?
Yeah, mate, of course I have. Yeah. Do you know what? I've never shouted at the TV so much, these two phrases, stop it, and oh my God, that's naughty. I have this season watching Rafa. The last game of the season at Jack and Tash's, I was just sat there going, "No, stop it! No, stop it! Stop it! That's filthy! Stop it! It's naughty." He's the one player.
You were watching Rafinha, weren't you, mate?
I was watching all of them.
I was wondering what you were watching then.
It's just like you said. You think of players at other teams all around the world at different times through the careers, and they're the ones you pay the money to go and watch. Rafa's our player that people will pay money to go and watch. He's unbelievable. He's sat so many players. I think was it Osborne, the Sheffield United lad, who he showed the ball and then just knocked it around him, sat him on his arse. Just like that, good boy, that'll do. And then obviously the Cahill one. That I actually think the Cahill one is my moment of the season. Beyond the Dallas goal, I just thought it was absolutely insane. No right to try that. And he showed his class, I think, about minute 3 when he came on the pitch against Villa and he hit that cross-field ball in behind their defence. And just like, oh, wow, we've got a footballer here. But I like his nasty side as well. We can be 3-0 up and he looks absolutely pissed off that he's not got a goal. And he's running around like headless chicken trying to get one himself. And he works so hard, which you've got to do in a Bielsa team, let's be honest, but Brazilians don't tend to do it as a trait, but he does. So much more to come from him. I think he's going to be next level with 36,000 in that place.
Well, this is it.
Jack bang on the hoardings.
I know. He'll be what's the name? Every time, just notice when every time he took a corner in that West Brom game, he's just there like the fans like, God.
It was after.
He's just proper, isn't he?
After the first goal, where they've all celebrated, and then the camera pans back, and he's like that at the crowd. I love it. He's going to be insane in front of 36,000.
I agree. I think he gets better. I think next season he gets a lot more than 6 goals. I'd be disappointed if he doesn't get more than 6. He's got the talent to hit kind of Mane kind of numbers for me. I'm not saying he's as good as a Mane or someone like that or a Son, but he's got the talent for me to get that. The way he strikes the ball, the way he gets into good positions, his finishing. He's got that ability for me to really kick on more than anyone in this team for me.
It's like Jack said about Paddy. Like, there's some players who can crumble under the pressure, certainly at an Ellen Road, and I think there's some players who it brings the best out of. Clicky's one of them. I think Ellen Road, when it's rolling, brings the best out of Matthias Click, and I think Rafa will be another one.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's a winner, isn't he, Jack? He's a winner. That's what you can tell about Rafinha. He won't accept finishing 9th again next season. He wants Europe. You can just tell that about him, can't you?
Rafinha, God. I think he's going to go. I mean,
he's close to tears. He's close to tears there.
I know, but it's just like, because I like these flair players. I do. I remember Samuel Saiz, and it was a shame what happened to him, but he was just another one. You never knew from 1 minute to the next what he was going to do when he had the ball at his feet. And I love them type of players. Rafinha is obviously he's a different level to what Samuel Saiz was, but that kind of player, they're the kind of players that get the ground absolutely on the feet. when they get that ball, there's just, you feel this air of anticipation and it lifts everyone. It's like, it's like everyone takes a deep breath when you see him. And the thing about Rafinha is he comes across to me as that type of player that will thrive on that. He will absolutely thrive on it. And next year, we're full house in there. That kid, he'll win Ballon d'Or. Right, that's it. I'm putting that down now. That kid will win the Ballon d'Or next year. Right.
I think this is too low. 20 goals, 20 assists. I want to do that in half a season.
Ballon d'Or. I'm just so excited to see the man in the flesh because I think he's better when he has the full crowd behind him. And obviously, Ellen Road, it's known, it's an intimidating place. But that man, when he has a crowd behind him, will be, we'll have every club in the world after him. After another year, we will.
That's it. I think we'd be mad to cash in now because I think with a crowd behind him as well, he puts up another season even better numbers-wise. I think you're talking double the value. Like starting with 32 million. It's 32 million.
That's it.
32 million. That's what they try.
It's just paper talk. That's just again unsettling bollocks. I mean, I think that Liverpool have actually come out themselves and said, "Look, we haven't even approached Leeds about him. It's just paper talk." It's the silly season now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be a bit quiet while Euros are on, but it's the silly season now. The close season between one season to the next. Everyone's going to get spoken about, aren't they? Everyone. So he's an attractive player. If any club didn't want them in their side, then there's something wrong with the coaching staff, and there is, and we have to accept that. People are going to be interested in that kid because he is just so good, and we have not got a board that are prepared to sell these kind of players now. We're not that kind of club no more, so it'll take some kind of a mad offer, which you might think, well, hold on a minute, we could probably get maybe 3 or 4 players for this. Yeah, you're not going to replace Rafinha, but you don't know what Victor's up to. Victor found him in first place. He might be looking already, thinking, right, Rafinha could go. We found someone who maybe could be on that level. We don't know what's going on in the background, do we?
I heard Victor talking about the Rafa signing, and they've been chasing him all, I think or inquiring about him all the previous season, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right through the summer, and Ren were like, "No, he's not for sale, not for sale." And then 2 days before the window shut, they basically rang Victor and went, "He's yours if you want him." Victor was on his plane.
Boom, I'm off. Yeah. But that's mad though, because they were in Champions League. It's strange, and they didn't sell him for more than what he was worth. I think they were a bit of a carry on with him as well. What he felt a bit offended about, that he had this buyout clause, and the Leeds didn't even have to buy him for that buyout clause, did they? It was something. And he
went for the same price. Lisbon he went for the same price Ren paid Lisbon. So his value increased, which is mad.
They did not make a penny on him, did they?
Yeah. It's if we went in there and said 40 mil and they said, "Oh, right, okay, go on then." It's not like we did that. We just had him off. Like it's up there with the Medier deal at 5 million. I mean, us and Ligue 1 in France,
we're having their eyes out.
They hate us. They absolutely hate us. This is why we got go and eat your fish and chips or whatever. They absolutely can't stand us.
Still one of the greatest tweets from Leeds United ever. That just the plate of fish and chips.
But imagine if he'd been a complete flop though. After all that, he was never going to be a flop. After that, he was never going to allow himself to be that. But so we're all saying 9s on Rafa. We're all saying 9s.
Yeah.
Okay. Any numbers? Anyone in the live chat want to give us any numbers on Rafa? Smash a like for Rafinha. Just smash a like because that's it, isn't it? I mean, the Euros, whatever's going on in the summer, it's not going to be as entertaining as watching Rafinha with a ball at his feet. It honestly isn't. I honestly can't think of a player in this country at this moment in time who I enjoy watching more, not just because I'm a Leeds fan, with the ball at the feet. Yeah, you can say your likes of your Salahs, your Manes, your Sons, players like that. They're all unbelievable players. They get 20 goals, 30 goals a season. They're more productive than Rafinha at this moment in time. But not as entertaining to watch as Rafinha. They don't keep you second guessing.
They don't perform absolute filth like he did on Gary Cahill.
Exactly. If he can add goals to his game now, i.e. double that tally to 12 goals a season, 15 goals a season, he's genuinely one of the best players in the league, if not already. He's genuinely, for me, outside that top 7, he's got to be up there. He's got to be up there. Like your Grealishes or whatever other people you got in there. I genuinely think he's well up there, and he deserves to be in that kind of conversation. But
don't get me wrong, Richard. I love watching Phil Foden. He's an exceptional player.
Who's that?
Rafa's more exciting to watch. Foden's class, the future Ballon d'Or winner, that kid. But Rafa excites me more because of how he plays football. Foden's one touch, get past someone, Man City way, ticky-tacky football, whereas Rafa's like, no, I'm going to skin everyone and then go back and skin him again just for shits and giggles.
His best friend's Ronaldinho. His best friend in football is Ronaldinho.
I think
This sums it up. Exactly. That sums it up.
Yeah.
Like, I hope he doesn't, like, in terms of later on in life, go the same way as Ronaldinho in terms of like using a fake passport to get into a different country or whatever it was Ronaldinho did. But my word, if he's
the highlight of my season is after the Cahill Megs,
Yeah.
and I put it on Instagram on my story, and Rafa liked it. That's the highlight of my season.
your life, the highlight of your life.
Life done. Completed it, mate. Completed it.
But honestly, if he's even quite as good as what his mate was, that'll do for me. And we all know how good he is.
Quite happy to get.
But the thing is, there's similar types of players, and obviously I'm not going to put Rafinha at Ronaldinho's level. That's you never know in a year, 2, 3, 5 years or whatever. Maybe you don't know, but obviously Ronaldinho a different level,
Yeah.
And it was only a little Argentinian that came on scene that sort of finished Ronaldinho off, wasn't it, at Barcelona? So.
Well, there you go. But we've got our own Brazilian. And I'm just delighted to have him. Just absolutely buzzing to have him at this football club. That is why you go through the difficult moments, to watch players like that, because one day you'll get to see players like that playing for your team. I honestly think you could put him in any Leeds team of any era, and he'd do a job. I think he's that good. He wouldn't look out of place. I honestly do. I think he's got that kind of...
Even in Neil Warnock era, where it's just like, oomph it.
He'd find a way.
Ben Michael Browns and Rafinha on the pitch. There you go.
You win the championship at that, though. But no,
I think Rafinha will be at Paddy Kenny's party. I'm not feeling about that.
But look, he's talking the Wilco era, O'Leary, Revie. I honestly think he was holding his own in those kind of teams.
Imagine him in that young O'Leary team.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Unreal it'd have been. But guys, I guess that we'll leave it there anyway. We're up to.
Are you going to have a word on the manager? Coach.
Yeah.
Oh, 10. Just. Do we need these to discuss? It's a 10. 11 actually. I'll go 11 at 10.
We've just gone from the defenders to the midfielders to the forwards, and we've actually just forgotten about the general, the man.
Like you just assumed it'd be 11.
Well,
Commission the statue, get sculpted.
that's it, isn't it? I mean, I think he's going to sign. Obviously, he is, isn't he? We're all more or less 100%.
Oh, mate! If he doesn't now, then that's just.
He will.
Yeah.
He will. And I'm confident that he'll actually sign a second year. I think he'll sign again next year. But then I think that might be when we all get squeaky bum time and start thinking, shit. Now, what do we do? What do we do when that man decides enough's enough? You can't.
We said it the other week, Jack, didn't we? We were like, the hardest thing at the minute now being a Leeds fan is I can't imagine the club without Bielsa in charge.
I don't want to.
Me. No,
I don't want to.
Frightens me.
It doesn't just frighten me, mate. It keeps me awake at night. I need sleeping tablets to get over that. I do, honestly.
It's a very, very frightening, sobering prospect, isn't it? To think that he might not be here. Because you can never replicate what that man's done. It could never, it's impossible. I mean, you've got, like you say yourself, Pep Guardiola, and that's it. We can all be coaches, but you cannot replicate Marcelo Bielsa. No matter how hard you try, you cannot replicate what that man does and how he goes about his trade. It's
I
like
wouldn't
a-
swap him for anyone. I wouldn't swap him for any other. You could offer me Guardiola, you could offer me Klopp, you could offer me anyone, Conte, anyone in the world. I would not swap. Wouldn't
No.
even think about it. I wouldn't swap.
No,
I think this
no,
is the
no.
thing in it, and that, we've said it before, whether on here or just chatting between us. That's why, as much as we get het up about football and when results don't go very well, we need to appreciate that we're living through a golden age of Leeds United at the minute. We really are. I know we've won the championship, but we're not at the top of the Premier League yet, and I do say yet. But for the football we play and what he's done to the club and where we were, honestly, this is a golden age for us. And we've just got to soak it in for as long as it goes on.
This is the thing, what you just said there, what he's done. To me, the key word here for me is structure. He has it's a structure that he has actually put into this club. Now, he's actually give Leeds United an identity. We have a real identity now. But it's when he does decide to leave, it's trying to find the right man to carry on that identity now that we've got. I want to go back to being hated by everyone. I don't like this being everyone's second favourite team at the minute. I can't stand that.
No.
But that's down to him. He's brought that in, hasn't he? You know, with his whole sportsmanship. When he does a press conference, he never ever slates another manager, slates another player. He will not condemn an official. You know, but if you watch the players as well, they never carry on. They never ever carry on with an official no more because he's instilled that into them to have respect. And it's just that's it. The structure he's brought to the club is just he's God, isn't he? He is God. He is. It's simple as. I'm getting a bit emotional now.
I'm going to say he's coming into the business for years.
I'm telling you now, when that new West Stand goes up, there needs to be a
It will be
statue of the man
Marcelo
outside
Bielsa
it.
stand.
Yeah.
It will. Has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Oh, George, don't even get me started on how excited I'd be about that if we had a game against Newell's. Oh,
Away. Newell's away.
Away.
Newell's away.
Yeah, that's what I want to go to Argentina. I want to go fucking Rosario on there and fucking play them there.
Yeah, let's get
I don't know why it's not been arranged though. It's a pure money spinner, isn't it? Is there a bigger?
It's got to be his parting thing. We'll go and play Newell's when the man in 10 years decides that he's going to hang up his tracksuit and go home.
I don't know why we don't just do like a pre-season tour, go Bilbao, Marseille, and then Newell's. But it's a proper like, we'll just have a tournament, 14 tournament.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd be pissed for about 2 weeks and
Marcelo Bielsa tournament.
The Marcelo Bielsa tournament. Oh,
Get it pitched to the club. Get it pitched.
We'll pitch that to the Dragons. That's the idea. That is our idea now. But it is Dragons Den.
I love that from Duncan. Imagine Leeds fans descending on Rosario. It would definitely get messy.
Yeah, it would. It would.
That's a pun there, isn't it? If there ever one.
So we're going 11. Are we going 11 to be able to?
Give me what you want.
12. Sorry, mate.
12.
12 for me. 12.
Keys to the city. In fact, no, don't give him the keys to the city. Lock the bleeding gates. Lock him in. Never let him out.
I'll get him in. Get him in a dungeon somewhere and just get him out every now and again.
Yeah. Just what a man. What a man.
Everything in it. Everything.
He is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy, are you agreeing with the 11s, 12s?
15, 20.
15. We'll do it. We'll go 100. We'll go 100 out of 10 is what we'll do.
You know what? And I think that's a great point from Robbie. He's made me think differently about it. He's actually probably humbled me a little bit as a football fan. Yeah. I look at football completely differently now. If Leeds aren't playing, I'm watching a Premier League game for one. I'm like, I'm turning this
boring.
On. This is pumped.
Like Champions League final supposed to be the biggest club football event. I'm thinking,
it's not Leeds, is it?
What's this? What's this? City can't pass a ball. All these £1 million footballers. I'm thinking, we beat these.
Yeah,
but it was nothing. It was a nothing game. You know what I mean?
This is the thing, though, that just shows every commentator this year on Sky, your Carragher's, your Neville's, your Graham Souness's, your Roy Keane's, every single one of them have just said Leeds. They all want to watch Leeds.
Roy Keane as well. That's the thing. Roy Keane. It sums it up, though. It sums it up how, of all people, like Roy Keane. Doesn't sit right with me, though, him talking right about Leeds. Does not sit right with me.
This is the thing. This is what Bielsa's done. He's produced a team that are just not afraid. They're not afraid, and that's what football should be about. And that's what I think that these pundits like. This is just pure football. Yeah. Right? If you're going to score 3, we'll try and score 4. They're just, even if we're like against Man United, we're 6-1 down, and we're still pressing as if we're 1-0 down, and they're still having a go. And he's just instilled that mentality into him. Never give in. Just keep going. And it's just, it's amazing. And we are so lucky to have him. We are just so lucky to have him. And I've always said, it was like a perfect storm for me. Leeds needed him, and I think he needed someone like Leeds to get his hunger back. And I think that's what it was. It was just a perfect storm. The two colliding like that. It was. And long may it continue. That's all I can say. Long may it continue forever.
Long may it continue.
And please.
We'll leave it there then. Long may it continue. And guys, while we will be back. We are doing a season review special. We're not sure when it'll be out yet, but we are going to be filming that this weekend at some point. But it will be out. It will be a pre-recorded this one, guys. But in the meantime, make sure you smash the like on this video. Smash the like for Bielsa. Smash the like for Rafinha. Just smash the like, guys, for us. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done already.
Like for Helder
Costa, Ian Pervader, David Sommer, Luciano Becchio, Gary Kelly, Adrian, Nigel Martin, Felix Weifels, Paul Rahubka. Just smash the like, guys.
Oscar, we finally got rid of that UCM bio, didn't we, or whatever as well? Yeah. 4 years, he's literally just sat on a beach and he's collecting his money. I wouldn't
recognise him if I tripped over him.
I don't even know he might be on this stream. You never know. One of us.
Oh, dear me. Right, guys, before we go, make sure you check out our fantasy football game. We've teamed up with Scarito. It's a combination of fantasy football and predictions. You pick the 4 goal scorers from each round of the Euros, predict each score for the Euros, and predict the overall winner. You have to have joined by this time next week, 11th of June, when the first game does start. Check it out, guys. And chance to beat the All ECB team. Can you finish above the All ECB team? You'll have to wait and see, but you can only do it by joining. So join it, guys. Link is in the description down below. We're going to leave it there, guys. Thanks so much for you guys for coming in. A lot of you have joined actually tonight, just under 150 on a Friday night, a sunny Friday night. Absolutely top class support, that, guys. And we will be back with more fantastic stuff over the season. And keep your eyes peeled. We've got something very special, very, very special coming up in the next couple of weeks. So keep your eyes peeled, guys. Smash that subscribe button, and we will see you later.